right, here we go. We going live, y'all. We going live. We on it. I'm half asleep, been asleep. Hey, yeah, I called you, man. You know you wanted to do your little setup and everything. So I gave you a call. You wasn't ready, so jumped on real quick. Just giving us about like a good 45. That's all I'm really doing, man. I ain't doing too much. Trying my best to get this little news out, and then I'm going from it. You say it's nap time, man. Hey, guy, welcome in, guy. Got the invite with your own blood. Hey, man, I'm just doing my best to give out this little information real quick. So now you already know I'm about ready to get it started. So y'all know how I'm finna do. Let's get it over here. Let's go. Going to the first update of it, what it is, y'all see it on the screen. The Cowboys have agreed to a 3-year deal with their running back, Javante Williams. Hey, that's a running back that's off the scenes right there. That's a running back that, you know, individuals. What's going on with you? How you feeling, man? But that's one of the running backs that we try to connect with the Chicago Bears, saying that the Chicago Bears need to go and get. But yeah, y'all see it on the screen right there. Javante Williams is no longer available. So that's one that's off. We still got a chance for Kenneth Walker. Some individuals putting what's his name, ETN on the list, Travis ETN. So we'll see how that's go. I want them to go get Rico Dotto. If they go get anybody, they need to go get Rico Dotto. That's what I feel about it. Like, I don't know how y'all feel about Rico Dotto, but I think Rico Dotto will be a good pickup for the Chicago Bears, man. That's like one true pickup that's like, hey, look, we need to get that. We need to get going on that. We could get him, then I could see Swift being gone. But if not, then hey, it's cool. But Devontae Adams getting this deal, man, I think that's a big step for Cowboys as well, though, because that running back, he does so much for them. It's no reason for them to even sit there and play with that money like that. And I think he got the third top or he's somewhere around that like mid range, third, fourth, or fifth highest paid running back of today's age. On other news, we have right here, y'all probably can't see it, but George McCaskey, which is the majority owner of the Chicago Bears, was livid with Kevin Warren over the stadium debacle. So if y'all don't know about this yet, y'all should have been tuning in. The Chicago Bears have been going back and forth between Arlington Heights and now Hammond, Indiana, about moving. So we showed y'all the location that they could be. I was supposed to do a little drive by of the area, but somebody had already done that. And the area is cool. The area is great. It has popularity going on. New houses are being built over there. They like $500,000 houses and things. They got the new fire station over there across the street from where they planning on putting it at. It's entertainment area. The wife and I usually go for the Festival of the Lakes every year. It's a great area. The problem is there's too much environmental issues over there. You got the factories over there. You got the BB factory. You got the soap factory. It was a steel factory over there and things. So the environmental is very unsafe and is poor for the soil conditions and things. So there's no way that we will be sitting here sending them to, or the Chicago Bears will be sitting here thinking about that simply because of that fact there. You can't build on that. That's gonna take longer years. The Bears want to be a playoff, not playoff. I'm sorry. The Bears want to be a Super Bowl holders by 2030. If you talking about going to Indiana, there's so many different structural fixes that they're gonna have to sit here and do in Indiana. They're not gonna probably get that stadium up until 2040, just because you gotta do so much soil testing over there before you even begin to put land on there. So there's no way that they're gonna sit here and consider that, knowing that they have a deadline of 2030. Now we went over to Arlington Heights as well. We did that on the Google Maps, and with the Google Maps, it was just more so like it just showed the old horse race track and things like that. Only thing that you really have to worry about that as far as structural soil structural is the fact that it's fertilized by horse manure and all that stuff. But that it's been years. It's been like what 5 years since they raced over there or had horses over there. The last horse was like 5 years ago. So you got benefits for that. You can get the 2030 um bid for the Super Bowl to be hosted there. So once again, though, as you see, he was livid. And the reason that he's livid, right, guy, you in here? I don't know if you really paying attention to what I'm saying right here, but I remember, I was in your live and we was talking about this, right? We talked about the owners and where they wanted to be. I believe it was your live. We was talking about the owners and we was talking about where they want to be. And I believe I told y'all the owners want to be in Illinois. They do not want to leave Illinois. I constantly told everybody like, hey, Indiana is giving up, some great things, especially this tax deferred. It's not even they not even letting them know like, hey, things be tax free. It's tax deferred, which we learned tax deferred is later on down the line. Like once they get out the red, that's what tax deferred mean. Boss Don BT, welcome in, my brother. Right? You remember I was saying that, right? So this is what I'm saying now. They might not necessarily like the tax deferred that Arlington Heights is sending, but the thing is, they are going to stay in Illinois for multiple reasons. You have the majority of the owners, or I'm sorry, majority of the season ticket holders are Arlington Heights. You have quicker structural build when it comes to building that stadium. So therefore, where do they want to be? They want to be in Illinois. Why would you move away from where individuals are giving you the most money? Your season ticket holders, and they held the meeting for the season ticket holders. They gave them a vote and everything. The season ticket holders said they would not renew they their subscription, or however you want to say it. They won't continue to be season ticket holders if they move to Indiana. Why would you sit there and lose money like that? Not saying that you're gonna lose money because you can sit here and get ticket holders from Indiana. Anybody will sit here and say, "Hey, I'll be a ticket holder." They consider Hammond in Indiana, Chicago anyway. So I'm pretty sure individuals there will be like, "Yeah, we'll be season ticket holders." But the thing that I'm saying is you got the guys already. You got your loyal guys that's already season ticket holders. Why would you leave them? Why would you give them a harder time to get to the stadium? But once again though, if y'all ain't read this article yet, and I don't know why it's popping up black, it's not black on my screen, but I can sit here and give y'all a little bit of reading to it. So I'm gonna try to scan through it a lot, but Kevin Warren has several important responsibilities as the Chicago Bears team president. However, none is more important than breaking ground on a team's proposed stadium. It's hard to fault the Bears ownership for thinking he was the right man for the job. After all, he helped the Minnesota Vikings build a state-of-the-art U.S. Bank Stadium and similar Road for their franchise. So that gives you a background on why they chose this guy, right? Let me see. I'm trying to read. Coming from George Offman, the tweet should be not be taken as speculation. It's got serious weight to it. He's been in the Chicago sports media since the early '80s. he has sources and it's safe to assume they're credible, is Kevin Warren in hot water. Told Bears owner George McCaskey is livid with his president and CEO for his handling of Thursday series of events. What a colossal mess that this has turned out to be. That said, Arlington Heights is still very much in the picture. So this individual, George Offman, he reports a lot on the Bears. He has multiple sources within the Bears organization. But one of the things that we had talked about was the fact that the Chicago Bears was the ones, or pretty much Kevin Warren was the one that told the governor and the committee and the meeting to pause, and that's the reason why they gave cancel. They wanted to tweak some things. He seen some things from Indiana that he was like, "Hey, let's change some things from what we want to what Indiana has, but let's make Illinois give it to us because they want to stay in Illinois, of course. So why not do that, right?" Well, that's not what George really cared about. He wants the stadium and he wants it now. He's like, dude, you doing way too much with all this. We was in agreement with everything that Illinois was giving us. Illinois was giving us tax breaks. They was giving us full ownership of the stadium. And one of the things that I did find out by, I want to say 2035, they was gonna start having the Lollapalooza there. They was gonna start having the Lollapalooza at the new Bear Stadium and everything. Yo, they appreciate the daily heart me. That's one of the things that I definitely found out. They want to have the Lollapalooza there. They want to start hosting an iHeart Radio. They want to host that um Def Jam, the WGCI Def Jam, things like that. They want to start hosting these different things. Yo, David, becoming a number 13 fan in the Couch Potatoes. Appreciate that. Hey, appreciate y'all with them likes. But yeah, so they want to host multiple things that, of course, you can't host at Soldier Field, as well as they weren't gonna get the revenue from them hosting that at Soldier Field anyway. So with that being said, that's the reason why they bought Arlington Heights. That's the reason why they want to build a stadium, right? Well, if they're getting tax breaks and getting the approval from the Illinois committee, the House and everything, it's like, hey, why would you turn around and pause this? What could possibly be given to you from Indiana that you're not getting from Illinois? Simply being said that Illinois is already saying like we giving y'all everything. Everything y'all wanted, we giving y'all. It's all there. Everything that the Bears wanted, it's a yes to already. It's just certain things that they wanted to twist around. They wanted to take certain wording out and they wanted to put certain things in that Indiana is giving them, right? I just seen the Friends of the Park want to renovate Soldier Field after the Bears leave. Yeah, there's some individuals that want to renovate the Soldier Field. Soldier Field lost its landmark once they added the little bowl part on top of it, so it's no longer a landmark. They can do different types of renovating up there. So, but it's a lot of stuff that they're gonna lose when it comes to that, though. Like, think about when you think about Soldier Field, you think about the Bears. You don't think about other events that happen there. You got the rave concert that happened there. Um, You have the HBCU, Jackson State, and Mississippi State, and all them that be happening down there, which that's going to happen in the new Bear Stadium. It will no longer be a Soldier Field once they get it up and established. They want to get in. They want to get in the black. They want to get out the red before it happens, but it will be happening in the new Bear Stadium. So once that happens, the Bears really don't have anything. Every 3 years, there's a wedding there. You got to have money to actually have a wedding there. So, but every 3 years there's a wedding there. There's graduations at Soldier Field. There's concerts at Soldier Field. Of course, you got the taste of Chicago. quotation marks, of course. You got the Taste of Chicago that's downtown, and then individuals go and visit, and it's right there off of. It's in Northerly Island, so it's right there where the museums are at. They have little tours throughout there and things. You know, you got the bear store up in there. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in Soldier Field that's supposed to keep it open, but at the end of the day, if you only have these little things that's happening, which only happens pretty much during the summer, nothing really happens during the winter because the Chicago Bears is playing. But that's only a summer thing. You're gonna lose a lot of revenue at Soldier Field. So Soldier Field is trying to do the owners of Soldier Field, which is a Chicago committee. They're trying to do everything they can to keep revenue coming in. But other than that, though, man, going into the season, like I said, they will not be going into no Indiana. It's all a play call. It's all everything that we've been calling for so far. It's like, hey, we know that they want we know that they want certain things. Indiana is giving them certain things, and they're just taking certain wording from Indiana's proposal and sending it to Arlington Heights and the House of Representatives to change it over to Illinois. That's all that they're doing. They want to put certain wordings from Indiana's into the contract for Illinois. That's a win. Soldier Field can renovate to keep events coming. The Bears get the Arlington Heights Stadium. I mean, yeah, that could be, but you gonna have to do a lot. Like they gonna lose soccer events. The when they do the little hockey stuff in Soldier Field, all of that stuff is going to Arlington Heights when the Bears when they little get their little go ahead to build. So like once you get once you get like 2 or 3 years after the bill, after they opened up, yo Shanti, welcome in. Once you get like 2 or 3 bills after they open up, man, everything is going to Arlington Heights. Like I said, the HBCU college game that they be having, the Jackson State and all that stuff, that's going to Arlington Heights. The hockey games that they be having, that's gonna go to Arlington Heights. That well, at least that's what they want. They haven't confirmed that part yet, but that's supposed to be going to Arlington Heights. The like I said, 5 years later, it's supposed to be Lollapalooza, supposed to be in Arlington Heights. They want everything out there to be in Arlington Heights. Not to mention, you have them building a somewhat hotel slash casino. That's in the blueprints. That's in the plans as well. So, and it's not like it's gonna be a big one or anything like that. It's just a circle casino. That's all that it is. But you comparing this, well, they Indiana was like, yeah, you can do all that, but Indiana, you cannot sit here and have all of that in Indiana. You can't have that in Hammond simply because of the fact, like, you already got the horseshoe in Indiana, so they not giving you uh a casino that's right down the street. That part was already taken out, but that's not a big deal. That's not a deal breaker for the Bears. The hotel though, they want to give them the hotel. You can't build a hotel over there. You can, but you don't want to build a hotel over there because you still have the steel factories that's going on. You have the BP petroleum factories going on over there. You got the soap factory that's right here. Like the the smell and then the soil and all of that you got to do. That thank you for that daily heartbeat, Ashanti. So you got all this that's going on and everything. It's like, man, you can't turn around and have this going on. You can't have this up and active, and you got a hotel. You got people spending the night at hotels and then leaving the hotels to go to a game, and you constantly got these smells coming in. The water is like it's filtered now, but it's horrible. Like there's no way, man, no way. So everybody should know it's a they will be going to Arlington Heights. We can forget about everything else. They're going to Arlington Heights. All right. All they gotta do is get this approval, which is in about 4 days. I believe it's in about 4 days. It's either this Thursday or this Friday, something like. Oh no, it's on the 6th, so it's like next week. So once they get that done, like I said, they'll be back into Arlington Heights. Will be back into the top right there. So we can continue on from that. People can stop talking about that now. Okay, get over that. As well as I already talked to y'all about the DJ Moore, right? I seen something earlier. It was talking about Max Crosby and what the Raiders want from the Max Crosby. Hey, Dave, appreciate you sharing the live. So pretty much what they want, right? Las Vegas Raiders. What they want is they want any top tier guy, meaning wait, so the Bears are not moving. I was late. All right, so Ashanti, it's not confirmed whether the Bears are not moving or not. The thing is, they're still gonna have the meeting to give approval for the Bears to have the stadium built in Arlington Heights. The thing is, the reason why it was paused was the fact that Kevin Warren he saw things that Indiana was proposing that he wants to propose to Illinois and give Illinois the chance to agree to this. Illinois was already agreeing to everything that they wanted. Hotel, the bill, the tax breaks, uh the community even agreed with certain tax raises and all that stuff that way that they can sit there and build a stadium there and the whole community that they trying to build around the stadium. But the owner of the Bears, George McCaskey, was upset with Kevin Warren because he was trying to figure out why would they sit here and tell the House of Representatives to pause on their committee, to pause on they what is it that they was having they little meeting. He didn't care about any meetings. He didn't care. He said he does not want to leave Illinois. Illinois is giving us everything that we want. Why are we sitting here and talking with Indiana? That's all that it was. So I was in Guy Supreme's, which I don't know if you follow him. I think you do. I know that you follow Unc and Unc was in Guy Supreme's before, but this is Guy Supreme right here. But I was in Guy Supreme's live one day, and I was already telling them the owners don't want to leave Illinois. They want to stay in Illinois and things like that. And once that little, I don't know if you've seen the screen that I had up before this, but when they was talking about George McCaskey was livid about the way that Kevin Warren was going about handling the stadium, that was confirmation of everything that I was saying. How that they want to stay in Illinois. Okay, so you do follow him. So I don't know if you was in there that day, but that was the confirmation. That was the confirmation. The screen that I just showed was the confirmation of me saying that the Bears owners, all of the owners, the majority owners and the minority owners, all were saying that they don't want to leave Chicago, or not Chicago. They don't want to leave Illinois. And then we talked a little bit about the everything that you'll have to do in Hammond. Like you got all the factories that's going on in Hammond. You have the soap factory, which is right here off of Indianapolis Boulevard, that you're gonna have to go through to get into to the stadium if they built it there. I don't know if y'all ever been over there to Indiana to that part when they start making the soap. When they very first start making that soap, it stinks. It's horrible. Like you go in and you be like, oh my god, what is that smell? Then the owners they wanted to build a hotel slash casino. Well, Hammond already has his popular casino. They took that part out. That wasn't a big deal for the Bears, but at the same time, they still want that. So with them taking that out, it was like, all right, whatever. What else y'all got? The hotel was a go, but then if you look at the land where they wanted to build a hotel, you right there by the BP factory. So now you smelling petroleum. You go from smelling this soap all the way to, and it don't smell like soap. Trust me, I live right over here by it. It don't smell like soap when they first start making the soap. It smells like you took 300 people, had them all pass gas in a mason jar and sealed it up, and then gave it to somebody, and that person opened it up in a closed area. That's what it smelled like. Yeah, it smelled like real bad sofa. It smelled worse than sofa. I don't even know how to really explain it, but yeah. So you have that smell. You have the petroleum smell. You have the soil that's so messed up over there. Um, yeah, yeah, it smell that bad. Uh, it's so much that's going on that you have over there. It's so much that's going on over there. The soil is bad. It's You got to do multiple years of testing, and don't forget the Bears. They want to host the Super Bowl by 2030. They want to host the Super. They want the bid for 2030 Super Bowl. So you're not gonna have that with going over to Hammond, Indiana. If they go to Indiana, they probably gonna have to push that back into like 2038, something like that. That's crazy. They allowed those plants to operate in their residential areas. But don't forget the residential areas is more new. Yeah, the residential areas is way newer than that. Those factories been there. So, but yeah, that's why I wanted to give out to them. That's why telling everybody, calm down, relax. They're gonna be in Arlington Heights. There's a lot of stuff that they want to go through. Only thing that you really have to worry about with Arlington Heights is the soil. There's gonna be soil testing there, but that comes from the horse manure and the petting zoo that they had. That's all that comes from. So, and that's fertilizer. So that's easily you can easily change things over on that. It's not getting deep into the ground. So, and don't forget, one of the minority owners, he likes a total rebuild. He wants to do the same that he's doing for Northwestern Wildcats. The Ryan Field that we're doing, he wants to do the same thing. He wants to take the field and move it down a little bit, pretty much dig up 20 feet or whatever it is that they dug up, and put the field there, and then have the stadium come down around that. I'm not too sure if y'all seen the little videos that we was posting and things, but yeah. And then lastly, I want to talk about the DJ Moore thing and the Las Vegas thing. So the Las Vegas Raiders, of course, they said that they want a top tier player. It doesn't matter what position, a top tier player, and 2 first round picks. They said if they can't get that, then they'll get a top tier player, a second round pick, and a fifth round pick. So, and ESPN, they put together a projected module of how that would look. Of course, they said DJ Moore, a second round pick and a fifth round pick, and the Bears would receive Max Crosby and possibly maybe a third round pick, and as well as like $16.2 million would still be on the Raiders' table. They would still have to pay that for Max Crosby, which he just had an extension for 3 years, 100 and what was it, 20 mil, 117 mil, something like that, up in that range. So my thing is, I wouldn't want to take that trade. Like, there's first of all, George Pickens, he's a free agent. If they wanted a top tier receiver, they can really just go and get George Pickens right there. They really just tossing him for that one play. Yeah, that's the only reason that everybody keep talking about. I don't know if you seen my rant, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. I had a rant. Everybody keep talking about that one play that he had. The one play that, he's the reason for this interception. He supposed to kept running on that play and this and that, or try to break it up and this and that. That was not just his fault. So it's like, come on, man, y'all gotta get people gotta get over that. People keep forgetting the fact that, hey, he helped beat the Packers. The biggest goal, or actually the main goal for last year. It's not the biggest goal, but the main goal for last year was to beat the Packers twice. One of Y'all have to realize every goal. They wanted to get over the hump of a losing season. They did that. They did that once they won. Won the seventh game. They did that part, right? Then they had the goal of beating the Packers twice. They said even if we don't get over 7 wins, we got to beat the Packers twice at least. They didn't beat them twice during the regular season, but they beat them twice. Then they said eventually we got to become the best team in the NFC North. Well, that happened already. So everybody keeps talking about this, but if it wasn't for DJ Moore doing some of the things that he did, don't forget when Rome Odunze got injured. It was when Rome Odunze got injured, it was DJ Moore. So everybody keep tossing DJ Moore in for this trade and everything. Everybody keep talking about this trade to Las Vegas. Like I just said, George Pickens, he's a free agent at the end of the season if the Cowboys don't give him an unrestricted contract, right? And even if they do, they can sit here and still offer him a contract to match that contract or whatever it may be, and he still can leave them. So you still got Las Vegas can go get George Pickens and have a top 10 receiver, which they need for the number one pick that they're about to have. And they still won't have to sit here and trade Max Crosby and pick up a mediocre receiver as they would consider it. You still got Rondell Robinson from New York Giants. He's a free agent at the end of the year. You know, if they don't give him a contract or make him a restricted free agent, that's another top tier receiver that they can turn around and go get. When he came back from his injury, he was a dog. You still got Rashid Shaheed from the Seahawks. Excuse me. You still got Rashid Shaheed from the Seahawks. So they can go get them a top tier receiver if they wanted to go get them a top tier receiver. They don't have to sit here and trade with the Bears for DJ Moore. They can easily just go get them a top tier receiver. Yo, Second City, what's going on? Appreciate you dropping on with me and everything, talking with me, man. But yeah, so the Las Vegas Raiders don't have to sit here and have a conversation with the Chicago Bears and get the trade for uh DJ Moore. They don't have to trade for them. You say what's the new news? It's just pretty much, man, just talking about the reason why they won't necessarily go to Hammond, bro. Like, I don't know if you've seen it about how George McCaskey was upset. He was living with Kevin Warren about the fact that he was taking so long to get this deal. Appreciate that daily check in. I had it up here. I had to bring it back up, but he was like 110% upset with Kevin Warren. He wanted Kevin Warren to get this deal done with Arlington and Illinois committee. So I don't know why it's showing up white here. I mean, it's showing up black here. Yeah, it's still showing up black. I tried changing it, but it's showing up black right here. You can barely see it. George McCaskey he's reportedly upset with Kevin Warren for a stadium debacle. We pretty much talking about that. That's what we was talking about at first. Then I went on a little talk about how you have to do certain GG baby welcome in. I mean, it is really Kevin's fault if Illinois is playing games with the contract. Yeah, it actually is because Illinois had gave them everything. Illinois said yes to pretty much everything that the Bears was asked for. Pretty much what Kevin had put in the proposal. They were saying yes to everything. It was certain things that Hammond and Indiana had put a proposal to that he read, he liked. He came up with with the crew that he has, and they were talking. And from there, he was like, he told the Bears to hold off. I want to see what else they got. He's the one that told the Bear. I mean, I'm sorry. He's the one that told Illinois House of Representatives and the com, committee to hold off real quick. Y'all can cancel y'all meeting and wait because he wanted to make some tweaks. Some of the wording from Indiana, some of the things that Indiana is giving the Bears, he wants to put into the proposal with Illinois. He wants Illinois to give some of the things that Indiana is giving, as well as tweaking some of the wording that's already inside of the proposal that he had presented to them or had got from them. So that's the reason for the pause of this meeting, this past meeting. So come March 6th, they supposed to be having another meeting, and now they'll be saying whether or not it's a go for that. GG, appreciate that daily check in. So from there, that's when they're gonna be sitting here and go. But George McCaskey, he was just like, I don't care for all of that. Illinois wanted to give us everything that we asked for. Why we don't have this deal going already? It's all beyond your pay grade, LOL. I just want a fair deal done. Fair deal done and the stadium built to start. Hey, that's all that it is. That's all that he wanted. He was just like, look, all that you doing right there, I don't care about. We got what we wanted from Illinois. They were saying yes to everything. We was finna break ground. Go ahead and build a stadium where we wanted it. And then, like I was saying, in guys live, like, man, the owners don't want to leave Illinois. So when Illinois is giving them everything, of course George McCaskey and the other owners was like, ah, yeah, we finna go ahead, we finna continue with our talks about this the stadium in Arlington Heights, and then here you go with Kevin Warren going, hold on, we gotta hold off. We want to rebuild. We want to build some stuff. We got some things in talks. We want to do this. We want to do that. So, and then this right here, George Offman. He was the one that broke the news on that. He broke it over on X. So I also read a little bit from what they were saying about this. Then you got the JB, how he feel about how he chose not to be in the meeting the other day, in which the team and state officials mostly agreed on the bill. So, like I said, they pretty much was giving them everything they want. The agreements was pretty much the Bears getting everything that they wanted. The Bears, the governor told his staff today that their statement was not some confirmation that they're moving to Indiana. I would laugh if this is all a script with Bears playing devil's advocate. I know, right? Then we talked a little bit about the Soldier Field and what they could possibly be doing with the Soldier Field. So some of the things that if they move to Arlington Heights that they want Lollapalooza like 5 years down the line after the stadium is built. Of course, you know by 2030 they want a Super Bowl to be hosted in that stadium. What if McCaskey said this is just to play with Illinois to get Bears on their good graces? Hey, if they was come out and do that, I ain't gonna lie, they played their cards right. You know, when it comes to business, everything is poker. So you gotta play your cards right. Sometimes you gotta call out some bluff. Sometimes sometimes you gotta let them know, hey, look, I'm going all in. What you got? So sometimes you got to do that, man. Sometimes you got to do that, and it could be that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel that they're doing this. Talking to Gary, talking to Iowa, talking to Hammond, and all that. Yeah, it's to shake up some things in Illinois to make them sit here and look like, hey, wait a minute, man, we can't be losing something that they really want. Like Chicago Bears is a statue here in Illinois. That's people when people come to Illinois from different states, they don't necessarily go to Springfield. They go to Chicago. They go to downtown Chicago. They want to visit Soldier Field. They want to visit the museums that's in Northern Island. That's what they're doing. Like say, like, bro, let's be real. Kevin is never just doing this without talking to George. Nah, that's the reason for him being in charge of this. That's the reason why him being the CEO of this, though. I mean, he don't necessarily have to talk to George. He can talk to the majority of the minority owners and get the approval from them. It's not like Kevin Warren got his door locked. Nah, it's definitely not like he got the door locked, but at the same time, he has certain authority. Like he, it's certain things that he can do where he doesn't have to sit here and get approval from ownership. He can just sit here and be like, "Nah, we're not doing that," and it's okay. That's the reason why he's CEO. But at the end of the day, like to turn around and be like, this stadium, we gotta pause on this stadium. Nah, there's no way that he's just the only person that's agreeing to this stuff. Like, if he could get the majority of the minority owners to agree with what he's doing, especially with this stadium, then it doesn't have to necessarily just be George saying this. You think Ted left Bears in a mess, man? It's a lot going with the Bears though. It's not just that, man. It's a lot. Don't forget, we had last time we won a Super Bowl was in the '85 Bears. The last time we been to a Super Bowl was 2007, the 2006, 2007. The last time we been with the hotel tax, yeah. And hey, that's another thing that I was saying. Like, you got the Hammond. They have the They not the constant. They have the casino, the horseshoe, as well as they got the other ones that's out there that's a little bit further. They want to build a hotel slash casino, right? Hammond wasn't going for that. Arlington Heights is like, yeah, y'all can have a circle casino here. Right, you got the Hard Rock and the Wind Creek, and then you got the Horseshoe. You got those that's within what 45 minutes of each other, 30 minutes, something like that. Depending on the route that you take, it could be end up being 15 minutes from each other. But you have all of this right there with each other. They was like, man, nah, we not finna sit here and give y'all a casino. Y'all can't have a casino. We got our casinos. People can go there, especially with it being right there. You have to pass the horseshoe to get to the Bear Stadium, and if you go to Hammond, no, that's like they biggest, well, second biggest casino now, right? Because I believe the Hard Rock is the biggest. So there's no way they was giving them another casino for that. They was definitely talking about some y'all can't have a casino. It wasn't a big deal for the Bears. That wasn't the big deal for them. Yeah, it's Hard Rock, then Horseshoe, and then the Amnesty start, right? So with them having that bill right there, if they was to go with it, the Horseshoe would become the biggest casino in Indiana for them. But to be honest, the Horseshoe and Amstar is dying down. But look, look what I just said. If they was to build Hammond right, or if they was to build the stadium right there in Hammond, that casino will be the next biggest casino because Hard Rock and Hard Rock building a convention center. Exactly. But when you got the what is it? Festival of the Lakes right there. Then the Pierogi Fest. I mean that's in Whiting, of course. That's in Whiting, but it's straight down. Then you have that hotel, and then you have the Bears right there. That casino would have been a very big. It would have became a very big casino. The hotel that they want to build, it would have been right off of the stadium, of course. But if you all haven't known, they already building houses right there. They making it popular right there. They building houses right there. So you would have had the hotel right there as well. Don't make me hungry, DH. Yeah, them look. He said them pierogies be fire. Hey, look, I'm not even gonna lie, Second City. My wife had made some pierogies the other week. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago. Hey, I am not a fan of pierogies, but the ones that she made, oh my god. Like she made her own pesto sauce and everything, bro. Oh, the pierogies, man. She needs to find her a little booth to make her some pierogies and put them in there. Man, if you find the right vendor, yeah, that's true. That's true. If you find the right vendor when it comes to the pierogies, because everybody can't do pierogies right. Like some people, the potato they be putting in there, it just be like, ugh, it be dry. It be too dry. You have your mouth off, stick it to the top of your mouth and stuff like, ugh. But yeah, you get that money, Gigi. Exactly, exactly, Ashanti. You said the exact words like how it's supposed to be. But that's exactly what we were telling individuals. It was just the fact that hold on, give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Okay, yeah. So it's just the fact that you got so much going on right there. Only reason I'm pushing the Hammond Stadium because we pulling up with the taco truck. Right, I know that you right there. I know that you right there. Listen, I would love for them to be in Hammond simply because I'm right here. So I'll be right there. I instantly will be right there. Like, hey, let's get this going on. I'll be at every tailgating out there with my grill, the what is it, cornhole. I'll be doing all that. I'm running to the stadium. You running to the stadium. Hey, look, I could take the Wolf Road Lake back roads and just ride right. Take a little bike ride right over there, and I'm right there. Like I try my best to take my wife to the festival of the lakes. I try my best to take her to the pierogi fest and everything. Every chance that we get, cause we right there. Like literally, we right there. There's no reason for us not to be able to go to this. Yep, the trail to the pavilion goes straight through the east side. Exactly, exactly. So you know exactly where I'm at. I'm telling you exactly where I'm at. But yeah, so me personally, man, I can easily sit here and be like, yeah, let's go to Hammond and things like that. I don't have a problem with them going to Hammond. It'll be an easier travel for me to go to work instead of going all the way out to Arlington. But hey, I have to connect with some of them Arlington connections out there and be like, hey man, I gotta sleep on your couch, bro. I have a condo in downtown, but my family lives Skyway Dog. Hey, hey, how you feel about about Skyway Dog, bro? I ain't gonna lie, that Skyway Dog don't be all that, bro. It changed over the years, right? Yeah, yeah. But yeah, though. So we was talking about that. I threw in there the little talks about DJ Moore, what Las Vegas wants when it comes to trading Max Crosby. Of course, they want DJ Moore. They want two first round picks, or they want DJ Moore, second round and a fifth round pick. So it used to be so good, but I would say the past like 5 to 10 years, they're not the same anymore. Did you see the rumor on DJ Moore and the Giants? Yeah, I seen the rumor of DJ Moore and the Giants. They looking to trade that way, which I think that is more like Arnie's over on the Boulevard. Yeah, that changed a little bit too. But yeah, I like that Giants trade a little bit more. That the money is a little bit more manageable when it comes to that, as well as they're losing a wide receiver and they need to gain a wide receiver. Malik Neighbors won't be back until after week 4. Wandale Robinson, he could be leaving into free agency. So there you go. You got DJ Moore wide open. If the Bears were to really trade DJ Moore, that's their trade right there. Now, do I like Tibbs like that? Not so. Oh, that's what I was about to ask. Who they losing? Yeah, they losing. They'll be losing Tibbs. Uh, I don't necessarily like Tibbs like that. He's not that great, not that great of a pass rusher, but he's a great run stopper, which I like that in him. And you could easily go into the free agency, get Khalil Mack with that. He'll be on the veterans deal to come back. Or you could go into the draft and get that upgrade over Billings. Yeah, upgrade over Billings and Dexter. More than 1,000. That's like 1,000,000% right there. But you can easily sit here and go into the draft and get TJ Parker. You could turn around and do that. Don't forget that you still got Leonard Floyd. I hate saying this, but you got Joey Bosa. You got Khalil Mack. You got enough in the free agency where you can go and pick up the other ends if you want to. But don't forget we still got Montez Sweat. So you got Montez Sweat, you got Tibbs on the other side. Go find your two defensive tackles to fill up the middle. Find another linebacker. That's why I say Leonard Floyd. That'll be something decent. Or you can turn around and put Montez Sweat exactly what he's supposed to be, which is outside linebacker. And then if you get someone like Khalil Mack, you can put Khalil Mack as your defensive end, and there you go. You will have Dale on approve it here. Yeah, Shamar, Montez, Tibbs, Booker. Exactly. K Fresh, thanks for the daily check-in. Dang, K Fresh, I didn't even see you come in here. Appreciate that, GG. K Fresh with the daily check-in. Appreciate you. So, yeah, there's different things that you can do if you take that Tibbs trade. Yo, K Fresh with the Kogi.
Awesome.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Say it's dumping the more contract. We pick up Tibbs on a rental 1 year, and we still got 13 mil. Yo, K Fresh with another Corgi.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a better deal. It's definitely a better deal than turning around and getting the Max Crosby because you'll be losing out a lot if you turn around and do the Max Crosby trade. When you do that, if you do the Giants trade, you still got money to play with where you can go and get somebody. I think they been trying to shop DJ and not a lot of teams giving more than the third. Yeah, a lot of teams not really giving out more than the third. I know for a fact that they tried to ship him out to two different teams. They talked to the Jets. I don't know why they was talking to the Jets, what they was gonna get the Jets, what they were proposing to get back from the Jets. But I know they talked to the Jets for a fact. He is depreciating the asset. He is. He's like a car. He's depreciating. But yeah, if they can turn around and get that Tibbs trade done, I'll take the Tibbs trade. It's just you're gonna have to get something else. You got to get a linebacker and you got to get a defensive tackle that's really gonna get up the middle and get to the quarterback. And the reason I say a defensive tackle that can get to the quarterback is simply because I'm thinking of like a Vita Bay, right? You also saving that 13 mil, so don't forget you also got Caleb Williams coming up after this season. You're gonna have to end up paying Caleb Williams, so you can you can sign Mac for that 13 mil. You get two players for one. You're exactly right. You can sign Mac, you can sign Lloyd, you can't sign Bosa. You could probably even sign Von Miller. He gone as well from over there. So I'm not saying that I want Von Miller. I'm just throwing a name out there. So y'all don't jump on me. All right, y'all don't jump on me. But those are the little different ones that's going on there, as well as one of the running backs, and then you clear up realistically 48 million after 2027. Exactly. And don't forget this. Don't forget this. Right. We were also talking about running backs. Some individuals like we could get rid of Swift. Swift could be traded, this and that, and this and that. Hey, Javante Williams just got a 3-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys, which is the quickest contract I have seen Cowboys give. You know, they played around with Dak for a little bit before they gave him his contract. They did the same thing with Zeke when it was time to give Zeke his contract. I mean, hey, because you can cut Dio, no cap hit, and let go of Mac and Tibbs. Exactly, yeah, I know. You could definitely do that. I mean, after the Mac and Tibbs, after they 1 year little contract is up, you ain't gotta sign them no more. Like after that contract is done, you ain't gotta sign them. You could be like, all right, we had a run with y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for helping us get a lot of money back because we would have been losing money. So thank y'all. And yeah, I don't with Dio is he gotta have a spectacular year this year. He gotta come out on the go. Like he can't have any type of injuries at all. He can't have any injuries. So hopefully he get it together. But we'll see. Uh Once again, like I said though, they was talking about Swift being possibly being traded. Hey, if Swift is traded, man, we definitely got a chance to turn around and get if we trade Swift, I say trade him for something that we gonna actually use, which is another pick, and it gotta be something up close. If Bryce Hall is actually gone from the Jets, trade him to the Jets, get a top pick for him. He gotta play 85% of the game or he cooked. Yeah, he gotta play 85%. He got to play. If he don't play 85% of the games, then more than likely they will be over with him. He will be gone. He will not be in a Bears uniform. Uh, but yeah, with Swift, you can send Swift to the Jets. Yo, GG with the Cupid Koala. But you can send him to the Jets. Get Brees Hall because Brees Hall is a free agent. You still got Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker hasn't done any talks with the Seahawks, so he's a free agent. You have free agents out there when it comes to running backs as well. So if you really want to have a 1-2 punch in the backfield and you don't want Swift, then you have options. I think you'll be paying a little bit more if you go get those guys. So I wouldn't necessarily trade Swift off. Okay, you guys, gotta go get ready for tomorrow. Appreciate you stopping through, Shanti. Appreciate you. But hey, I'm just saying though, this is just this is what I believe in. It's not necessarily the hold on. I'm trying to see is what you call it. Is he in there? He's not even on. I was trying to see if one of the other guys is on right now. But I definitely appreciate you, Shanti. Appreciate all y'all that's up in here. Appreciate all y'all that stopped through up in here. If even if y'all gotta leave. But let's get into some other news that I was gonna talk about as well. We gotta move over to basketball real quick. Even though y'all are my Chicago Bears guys, we got to talk a little bit about basketball, man. There was some games today. Of course, we didn't necessarily do any betting on these games. Not today. A game that's already started for the night game, which is the last game of the night. The Orlando Magic and LA Clippers. Magic is up 92-91 in the beginning of the fourth quarter. I was gonna play this game for y'all, but I got on too late. Uh, the Thunder beat Cleveland. The Hawks beat the Nets. The Raptors beat the Bucks. The Warriors beat the Nuggets without Steph Curry. Hey, Steph Curry got one more game before he's not eligible for MVP, y'all. He got one more game before he has one game where he's not eligible. The Mavericks beat the Pacers. That is crazy work. The Hornets beat the Wizards. The Celtics beat the Lakers. The 76ers beat Minnesota. And the New York Knicks beat the Chicago Bulls. How did I know that they was going to beat the Chicago Bulls, man? The Chicago Bulls just seem like they nothing lately, man. Like, And it seemed like ever since this All-Star break, all these teams are coming off slow. Thunder had a great start, 121 to 113. That's probably the second highest after the Raptors, the 122. Nope. We got the Warriors 128, and we got the Mavericks 134, Pacers 130, the Hornets 129. So we got some teams that's finally all right. So yesterday was the slow day. Yesterday was the slowest day that we didn't had simply because I believe it was the All-Star break. You got players coming back trying their best to get back in the rhythm and everything. So tomorrow we will definitely have some great bets. We would run through, or not tomorrow. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow games is the Spurs versus the Pistons. That game we will be streaming this game. If you all can't log in with us, then check it out on Peacock. That game is at 6 o'clock Central. 7 o'clock Central, you got the Kings and the Grizzlies. And then at 8:30, you got the Jazz and the Rockets. But we will have the Spurs and the Pistons on. We will be on here on time. On time tomorrow for the Pistons and Spurs game. So y'all make sure that y'all log in with us tomorrow and everything. But other than that, y'all, that was the news that we didn't had for this evening. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for stopping through. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Y'all know how we have to wait. Now I gotta make sure I log in on this. I ain't even log in, y'all. I ain't even log in. That's a shame for me. But I want to make sure that give it a second. Y'all finna hear a sound. Don't worry about it.
Bluetooth connected.
But y'all know how we gotta do. We gotta make sure that we end it in the right way. We have some Bears talk. So with that being said, y'all know how it go. If it decides to play, I don't think it want to decide to play, y'all. I don't think it want us to get off. That's what it is. It's telling us we can't get off. All right, y'all. Y'all make sure that y'all take it easy and be safe out there. In other words, y'all know how it is. Bear down. Peace.